Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel today for another video. In this one today, we're going to be talking about another anime that is premiering this season. That is another pretty popular one, unsurprisingly, and that is going to be this series, aka the second season of Dr. Stone. And more specifically, some of the problems that I find myself finding when I watch Dr. Stone, but we'll dive more into that as the video goes on. Before we go ahead and jump into that, though, I do just have to say, like I do in every single one of my videos, look, 95% of the people who watch my videos aren't even subscribed to my channel. That's a really high percentage, no matter how big the channel is. So even if I am a small channel, that's insanely high. Maybe you watch my videos on your recommended page, but you're just not subscribed yet. I don't know what the case is. Either way, just scroll down, hit that red button, and turn it gray. It would really help me out, and I would really appreciate it. As well as the video that's in the background is just a little funny moments montage that I found on YouTube. It will be linked in the description down below, just like all the videos that I watch on the channel, if you are interested in watching it for yourself. Lastly, everything that I say in this video is purely just my opinion. If you don't agree, that's perfectly fine. Don't be toxic about it or anything. It's just my personal opinion on the show. As well as there might be some minor spoilers for the show as the video goes on, just in the video and some of the things I'll talk about, but I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler free as I possibly can. Now, I said I had some problems with Dr. Stone, or some reasons I don't enjoy it as much as others. Now, we'll go into that as we go on. But if you don't know, this is the second season of Dr. Stone. The first season premiered about a year or two ago, and I watched about like 75% of the first season, and to be quite honest, I thought it was just okay. I didn't think it was anything really that special. You know, it had its funny moments, and it had some interesting stuff. Basically, the whole world was turned into stone, and now the main character, Senku, who is like a super scientist, super smart guy, is trying to use primitive technology to bring science back into the world, and you know, get back to where they were before they were turned into stone, however many thousands of years ago it was. And you know, pretty interesting concept for a show, I think, and just in a manga slash anime in general, and it works pretty well. But the issue that I had with season 1 was that it tended to, you know, rely a little too much on like the comedy moments and the science moments, and I don't know, I didn't think the story was all that compelling, to be quite honest. I thought there were some cool moments, but I just didn't find myself enjoying it as much as others did. However, with the announcement of the second season came all of the people who had read the manga or who just knew what was coming up in the story, and I was told quite a few times by numerous people that the second season, this Stone Wars arc that they are currently in, was going to be way better than the first season. So I said, you know what, I'll finish up the first season, I'll continue to give it a shot. Maybe the second season gets really good. I didn't necessarily hate the first season or anything like that by any means. It just wasn't my favorite anime of all time. So I, you know, started watching the second season, got a few episodes in, and really, to be quite honest, kept finding the same problems that I found with the first season. This second season, at least in the beginning parts, it's basically been a lot of the same stuff. However, there have been some improvements made. I think the overarching story, obviously, is getting a lot better with the whole Stone Wars thing that's gonna happen, or started happening in the most recent episode. But I still find myself coming back to those same basic problems that I found myself finding with Dr. Stone season 1. It just feels a little too much, if that makes sense. It feels like they lean into the gimmick of him being like this super smart scientist and like having this funny cast around him a little too much for me, my personal taste. Again, that's not to say the show is bad or anything. In fact, it has some really good moments that I enjoy watching, like the most recent episode where they began the raid on the cave. You know, I enjoyed that. However, it takes a lot to get to that point, I think, and I don't necessarily know if all of that buildup was worth it for me. Maybe you disagree with that. Maybe you love that whole buildup. You love the fact that they lean into this gimmick quite a bit of him being obviously like the smartest person in the fucking world, apparently, who knows everything about science and is creating all these inventions, which, look, it makes sense. That's what the story is. You know, I'm not complaining about it. I just think it's a little too much sometimes. Sometimes, like, I just want to get to that next big action piece of the story or the next big plot point of the story, and it feels just like it's hidden behind sometimes what feels just like pointless inventions for the point of like introducing a new sciencey thing that Senku can do. Like, it just, that's what it feels like to me, at least. And that's what I have been finding a problem with season 2, because it just continues a lot of that stuff. However, I do think that it will continue to get better as the story goes on. Like I said, I've been liking the past couple of episodes, and I like the direction that the story is going, because it is getting more into to the parts of the story that I really like. However, I wanted to talk about Dr. Stone today, not because, you know, I just wanted to trash on it or anything like that, but it feels to me like I'm not the only one who kind of feels this way about the show, because while obviously a lot of people are watching it and enjoying it, I feel like I haven't really seen too many people talking about the show, if that makes sense. Now, obviously, I mean, I've said it in other videos plenty of countless times at this point. This season of anime is just incredibly and ridiculously stacked up with like amazing shows, and like as an anime fan, we are just spoiled for choice at this point. Like every day of the week there is a new amazing show that comes out that you want to watch. I mean, like yesterday, the Jujutsu Kaisen episode that came out literally was trending all over Twitter. It was all over every social media platform because of, well, and I won't go into spoilers for that, but regardless, that was everywhere, right? When you have shows that's doing that, like Attack on Titan, like Jujutsu Kaisen, you know, these big name shows that are just all over the internet at certain points, obviously not every show is going to get equal treatment, you know, not every show is going to be like that. And I think Dr. Stone is one of the shows that people were excited for when it came, like when it was announced and that it was coming out. But I feel the sentiment, at least, that people are kind of agreeing with me that it's not like the best ever. It's not the worst ever by any means either, but I think it's just like an okay show. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe not everybody agrees with that. Feel free to comment down below if you disagree. Maybe you love Dr. Stone. Maybe you think I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm just dumb or something like that. I don't know, right? That's kind of why I wanted to make the video, was to have sort of a conversation about it, because maybe there's some kind of appeal to the show that I'm just missing. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't get. But to me, the show just seems incredibly like mediocre, to be quite honest. It has its really good points, but it also just has points that are like really boring. There's no story progression. The comedy is not really that funny, if I'm gonna be real. Maybe it's also because I've said this in other videos before too, but I'm not the biggest fan of like anime comedy, if you will, like just the style of comedy that is used in this show. I don't really find it that funny. So maybe that's like the point where I have the disconnect with the show. Maybe everybody else finds it a lot funnier than I do, so it has that more of an appeal that you're looking for, because when it doesn't have those story points, you can go to that comedy aspect and enjoy that part of it. Whereas me, if it's not in that story point, I'm really not enjoying it that much because I don't enjoy the comedy that much. I don't know, maybe that is the case, but to me it just seems like an incredibly just okay show. Like it's one of the only shows this season that is coming out that's like one of the big name ones that I would just describe as like okay. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just okay. I'll keep watching it till the end of the season. I'll be fine with however it ends up. There might be a point where I'm like, oh, that was really cool, but like that's about it. And I feel kind of disappointed by it, because it was hyped up to me quite a bit to be a lot better than it was. And like I said, we obviously aren't through the season or anything yet, and we're at a good point in the story where I'm excited where it's going. So maybe in the next couple episodes it turns out that everybody was right and it is like really amazing, and it, you know, turns out something like that. I don't know yet. It's yet to be seen. We'll have to wait and see as the next couple episodes come out. And if it ends up being really good, I promise I will make another video and say, hey, you know what, I was wrong. It ended up being really good. But at least for now, I just feel like it's just okay. I don't know. Let me know down below how you feel about Dr. Stone, though. I'd like to have a conversation and see how other people feel about it, at least. Either way, though, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. If you did like it, please go ahead and leave a like. If you are new around here, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications when I post more videos just like this. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later, and I post new videos every single day, so you're bound to find one that you enjoy at some point. Either way, though, guys, I thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.